there we go. Okay. I do hope you guys are well. I think I was able to set up the notification properly on YouTube. Seems YouTube's quite selective in actually letting people know when the stream actually is, but hey, oh well. We'll get going then just shortly. There we go. So, a few things to do today, really. Not a tremendous amount. We've done most of the things in the first turn, and then obviously, in the second turn, it's more or less just keeping things going, keeping the rolling stock rolling. We did see that our combat patrol over here did do well. So having fought on it last turn and obviously being back here once again, we are going to take the A6M20 squadron, which is based, yep, as you can see we do have them broken up over here. Is the music a little bit loud? There we go, should be better. Let's get a proper track. I got some favourites. We'll go with the Pacific, that sounds about right. There we go. Awesome. Right, okay. So we do have about 45 odd zeros there, plus the reserves, which is very handy. Their fatigue's not too bad, obviously we do want to manage that one. So it is going to be something of a ongoing process really, as we're trying to give the aircraft sufficient time to rest, and the pilots, of course. How you doing there, Anno? Good to have you, my man. As you can see, no pilots missing. I'm sure you'll bloody remind me at some point. Right, okay. Now, at Kotobaru, we will look to actually base one of these squadrons out there. Sorry, the wings. We'll call it one of the actual wings. As we'll go ahead and base 15 zeros out there. Would be pretty preferable, actually. I did consider, well, I have been considering, is it worthwhile actually moving against Rangoon? I think what we might want to do here, then, is move into the southern area first, obviously, towards Malaya, try and shut down Malaya first. We will be on this within the week, I'd imagine. Maybe into the second week, then we'll begin moving on to Rangoon. I want to make sure that we can actually take Sinkawang. It's really about just trying to get the fighters where I need them. I do have the smaller group of zeros over here in Singora. Yeah. Also, we do have a larger group there, a larger squadron. We do have another squadron over here in the Philippines. It would be nice to try and get all of the squadrons out into that area there. But we just have to try and manage as best as we can, really. It's not ideal, but... yeah. C'est la vie. Right, okay. So we'll go ahead then and we will move one of the squadrons out to Kotobaru, one of the wings I should say. Yes, we do have 3 reserves there, so I'm going to go ahead and get them shifted. Have them shift out there to Kotobaru. Now, we've only got 7 aviation support over there, which is not a huge deal, but it's enough anyhow. Let's take a look. Yep, so we require more than double that, but it's enough. It's enough for the time being. We're going to try and not run them terribly hard, but yeah. So what we could potentially do then is... I mean, it's a question of just trying to make sure we can actually hold on to this area then for the time being, and try and protect our actual assets. The fatigue on the pilots, it's not ideal. The fatigue on the airframes themselves is not ideal either, but it's less. It's more so the pilots here at this moment in time. We do have 21 pilots here for 15 aircraft. So I think we can manage for the most part. I'm going to go for about 2080. The reason is, well... we don't want to allow his aircraft to really dominate this area. Not that they can or will. It's just we need to try and protect this. I don't want to see any ships go down, you know. We've done well so far. We've taken a few hits, namely obviously moving against Wake. But we'll manage. Now, let's take a look. So Singora we have... so 22 is required here, so I could move another detachment of the Zeros out to Singora. It could be worthwhile then to maybe have a squadron, well, of the other part of the squadron of Zeros made available for Bangkok. But what I could end up doing is maybe moving one of them down here, potentially to Miri. So for Miri... we would have the range to cover a Sinkawang invasion force, which I should have one somewhere. I do need to organise that. I did have it under prep. Just gotta find it. Might have gotten mixed up over here, actually. So that's moving to the 22nd Air Flotilla. I am going to have that shifted out towards Kota Baru. The reason being is obviously the furthest base to the south there, which is exactly what we need. So we need to go for that. So low threat threshold. Okay. Haruna, etc. moving back. Okay. And Soyuz. These guys are going to be fantastic. So... yeah, we need to get them into Saigon, is it? Yeah, we've got the repair shipyard there. And so we'll get them moving into Saigon. I can have them converted into the Ansoryu PBs, which would be very nice. So we'll have them auto-disband when they arrive. Their home port is there as well, which is good. Now, it might be worthwhile to potentially move one of these units beforehand. But right now... how much can they actually handle then in amphibious mode? So it might not be a bad idea. I don't really need them in amphibious mode, but it's always handy to have them in combat mode just straight off the bat. So I have an Ansoryu in here. We have... okay, we have the Akashis, however you want to pronounce that. So, don't load the fuel. So, 1140. It would probably be worthwhile moving one of those. I think it's worthwhile doing so. Get it moving while it is here. So we'll do that then. We're not large enough to actually dock here, unfortunately. So what we're going to have to do then is set them to, obviously, do not auto-disband. But we'll have them shift that engineer unit over to Saigon. I can have it then shifted out elsewhere then. But at least it gets additional aviation to where we need it. So we can have it then move potentially along the rail lines, or even potentially have it march up the road of there. But more than likely, I'll probably have it shipped down south into Sarawak and / Borneo. They use merchant points, I'm pretty sure. I don't even know if they actually use points, to be honest. I think essentially it's just they go into repairs. I don't think they use points. I could be wrong, but I'm going to say they don't use points. Right, so they're moving into Saigon, which is fine. Saigon as well. It was a risk actually getting these ships moving, but I wanted to get them underway quickly. Right, that's a good number of heavy cruisers I would like elsewhere, to be honest. It would be wise to potentially keep some surface assets in this area. We do have a couple of destroyers and a light cruiser, but for the most part, I don't think we need a terribly large amount of force there. We do have the naval bombers, which will do a superb job, one would hope. Okay. So we have the 124th over here. I did have a bloody force set up to land at Sinkawang. I'm sure I set one up. I may well have imagined it. So we did set it back. It probably is using the 124th over here, actually. Let's take a look. Where would the 124th be? So, 31st. Yeah, okay. We'll make use of the 124th then. If you guys remember, this was the actual regiment that did serve its time out at Mersing in the other campaign. So ideally, we don't have a repeat of that. So what do we have here then? Obviously, that is a large amount of ships. So we have 35 there in terms of supply. Okay. We do have the APD Oi over there, which is not too bad. It's a bit of a mixed force. It's a very slow force, frankly. But yeah, mixed is definitely the terminology here. And we'll take a look at what we can actually do then to ensure their security. I could potentially have a heavy cruiser lead the force, but it might not be worth that. So we do have the Bukis over here. These guys are in need of being upgraded in the near future. We do have a Buki 2 over here, which are very nice. We do have the Momi class. I think it might be worthwhile to have the Chokai event lead this force. So it's a Takao. Saying that, we do have some cruisers over here, don't we? What do we have here then? Kagiros. I do my new chaotic order. Good to have you, my friend. So I think the plan will be then, I may keep, if it's worthwhile. It does make me wonder, is it worthwhile to keep the third actual element of the Zero Squadron in Pan, I don't know how you pronounce it. Might be worthwhile to keep the third section over here. Essentially allow them to rest and then shift them over here. But it is going to be something I imagine I think we will need the Zeros over here. I don't imagine he will allow us just to keep this as is, really. We do have enough aviation support, and obviously we will need it over here. It could be potentially useful out this way, or potentially useful out this way, but I think we need it. He's probably going to be on that as soon as possible, so I don't think we can be complacent, can we, really? So we'll get that one out there. And there we go. And then we can use them to actually cover our advance upon Sinkawang in the future. So I will edit their settings. I just need to decide where we're going to have the other ones now. It may be worthwhile just to shift them over to Singora. It would allow us to give these guys a chance to rest. Or try to reduce their requirement, really. You're escorting Task Force 85, which you do not need anymore. See, that long-range combat patrol is a killer. So we're going to have that squadron stand down. Maybe just a slight... Let's go for 20%, I guess. Make it 30. Right, what we're going to do then is rebuild that. So it would be at fatigue 20, which is not too dissimilar to the other ones. And there's a few that are damaged, so it would be worthwhile to increase the amount of rest that these guys have. Most of them are really lightly damaged. They're going to be out for another day. It would be worthwhile to bring in the other section of the squadron then to help cover our forces over here at Singora. That does give us the additional oomph that we need to start, well, our air campaign against Singapore itself then. Yeah. See, I'd like to base a solid squadron out here as well. Kosovo is definitely going to need that aviation support, but the 20 seconds on its way. Yeah, let's see. So Singora has plenty of aviation support there. So I'm going to bring the other one in there. And we'll go with that then. What I'll be able to do then... we are quite fortunate to have Oscars as well, which I need to make use of. The issue is obviously they are set to hit Kuantan. I'm going to continue that. Force Z, the thing about Force Z, and I think the thing that people need to remember is Force Z only actually moves into this area if their orders aren't changed. Obviously, if somebody moves them into the area, they start outside of range. Or at least they do start on the extremity of the range. I think they start around about this point over here, so potentially within range, but easily able to get out. So I don't know. Maybe in Singapore. But honestly, I doubt that. I kind of feel like they might even be heading down this way. I would not be entirely surprised, to be honest. I mean, they might be moving down to the Java Sea, moving down to this area over here, which I would not be shocked about. I did somewhat expect him to move out this way, but it's hard to say. So I suppose we could narrow it down to maybe 2-3 options. Maybe the first option being he's at Singapore, potentially looking to try and ward off maybe a Mersing Gambit, but I imagine he'll know that it's a bit late now. Maybe he's heading out into the Bay of Bengal. Potentially possible. Maybe he's heading down to the Java Sea. I'd imagine it's probably going to be in this area over here. I don't imagine he would misuse them or leave them idle when they could be of use. I don't know. I wonder if he would actually consider sending them out into the Pacific. He could potentially even look to send them to the Coral Sea, to be honest. And that wouldn't be a terrible idea. Some umph in this area could be very welcome. But yeah, he could try to maybe have them move to join with the USN carriers. They are pretty damn fast and pretty well armed. And if we take a look over here, so allied ships. We'll go ahead and find them. Take a quick look at them just to see how impressive they are. So we have the King George V. Yeah, I mean, 28 is really nice. Cruise is fantastic, of course. That's absolutely fine. Pretty nasty. 40 mils are nice. Yeah. Those 5.25s are really nice. 24,000 yards, dual purpose is very good. Yeah, so it's essentially pretty tough. Obviously, that radar, if it's indeed active. And where is Renown? Is it Renown? Repulse Satsu. Yep, Repulse over here. Again, we do have dual purpose guns here. 2-pounder AA. Yep. And just in general, pretty nice. Again, 28. They're just really good to go with, like, a USN carrier, really. And considering that we are quite fortunate to have the fast BBs, so you can imagine he probably would be, like, I don't know, looking for something very similar. In that vein, really. So, we'll edit the settings. So we have a 0 squadron over here at Kotoparu, we have one over here at Singora, and we have one over here at Marie. So we do have a force that I can have assembled over here, which is already good to go. Now that is the 124th Infantry board. It might be preferable to take a look if there's anything else that we could load upon here. Shame it isn't already loaded, really. So I've got the troop load available here. It might be worthwhile to get one of these guys aboard. I do have a base force. Right. It is worthwhile to get them out there. But it does mean that we will have to wait for it, essentially. These guys are... We're not carrying a huge amount of supply here, really. That is a little bit worrisome. So if we went, we'd have 35, which is not a lot. But it might be worthwhile just to get them underway to actually take the base. My god, that's slow. Of all the things I would rather have had some bear ships. Some bloody better ships. It may be worthwhile to split them up into 2 ways, but I think at this point in time it probably is worthwhile just to get them underway. It is going to take them a couple of days to get out there. Well, we'll get them moving. Not ideal. So we'll call it that. I can move in some aviation. In the form of these guys over here. They do have a koi, which is not exactly huge. I tell you what we'll do then. I'll get them in there. I think while they're there, while we can dock them, it shouldn't take too long. Verified load. Now, I have 37,000 tons of supply here. It shouldn't take them too long to actually get that loaded up, so I would hope... Actually, no. I don't think we want to waste time loading supply. We'll just get it underway. Get them moving. If we take a look over here, do have the Magmaru. And a little bit of supply over here. So what I could do then is, let's see. Just get them out there. Go ahead and merge. So I do have a patrol boat there. Let's put that in for the time being, really. Oh, I don't like it. I don't like it. But we have to make do. And this is it, we're having to deal with the actual glut of ships that are in position in places that we would rather have them not be. But we'll make do. Right, let's see. Now we do have a decent complement in the Naval Guard over here, so it would be worthwhile to get them loaded up and able to take another base. So all we could do then is move into Brunei there. Which I think we will do. The Kois do have infantry, they do have a little bit of assault value. Right, so we're unloading here then. Okay. So yeah, I put a lot of the actual escorts into this sort of force, into the other forces that were moving out into Malaya on the first days. Well, the first day, really. So can't dock here, okay. Well, we do have air cover now, which is fantastic. So what we'll do then is we'll get them loaded up aboard. We do have supply being unloaded from the other ships over here, so that's good. So we'll have them move on to Brunei then. You're docked up, that's good. Means you're fine. Excellent. And we'll have the torpedo boat and the AV move into here next turn, which is great. Gives us that additional aviation support. I could then potentially have that even move into Sinkawang if needs be. Potentially into other bases around here as well. Busuanga is not a bad idea, but Anjala would be nice, but we'll see. So I'm going to add these settings over here then. Now the issue is I can't break this up due to the fact that it's a splinter. Would be nice to be able to break them up into different aviation, altitude bands, but I think 15 is probably the... It's okay, it gives us that 33, and kind of covers both bases of low and high. Not ideal, but we'll manage. We do have a great deal of support, which is good. I'm going to keep that at about 80-20 actually, considering I probably will throw B-17s out here. There we go. So the Marines are moving south, which is what we want. So go to Baru. So they're set to escort 80-20 there, which is good. And we'll send them to cover Kotabaru as well. I mean, this is good. We did well. It's a shame that we lost 2 zeros, but thankfully we didn't... I don't think we lost the pilots due to them being written off, actually. Which was nice. Yeah. Now, ideally, if you strike against Quantan, we'll go ahead. I'm really thinking about moving in a group of Sallies. I think the sooner we do it, the better. I don't have to actually have them do anything. I could have them 100% rest so they don't overburden the airfield terribly. And let's see. So you're on 100% rest at this moment in time. I think we'll go for... Yeah. So... 20... 18, okay. We'll have you fly 15, have you fly 10. Right, there we go. Ideally this way we'll be able to manage. Right, so we'll set them to obviously target here. And there we go. So we do have significantly more zeros in place now, which is what I'd like to see. And if we take a look, how much aviation support do we require? So we're at 37, we do definitely have enough. I'm going to get in some some Sallies over there. The airfield is a size 2, though it might be worthwhile to move them into Kotabaru when the actual air flotilla arrives. So from Kotabaru, that would be 9 hexes. From Singora, that would be 12, which I think is the limit of their range. Whether it's actually worthwhile doing it in that situation. Let's see. Yeah, limit is 12, so that does put them right on the extended. Probably is worthwhile holding off then. I could potentially move them into Kotabaru. Anyhow. Have them on rest. I think what we'll do then is we'll allow things to settle. We'll try and get the aviation support where we need it. I want to see what is going to manage here. We do have more fighters, so we will be fine. Shouldn't be much in the way of risk. But I think while we don't have the aviation support to manage everything properly, we'll hold off. What we'll do then is, considering the 22nd... Right, so they're going to go ahead and merge. Yeah, the 22nd is... Where is it? Right, so there. Okay. And then presumably two days out. 2 to 3 days. At max. So we'll get that aviation support into Kota Baru. And what I'll do then when they're about a day out, I'll get them based in Kota Baru. Maybe even 2 days before, so maybe even tomorrow base them there. We'll see what the situation's like, but I think a day before is probably the best bet. And give them that chance to rest then. Allow the actual headquarters, the actual flotilla to be unloaded. And that'll give us a lot to work with in terms of aviation support then. That and also being able to use torpedoes would be very nice. But I'm more interested in getting the bombers really in here to go ahead and start hitting Singapore. Gotta be mindful of that. We've done well so far in the air war. Just gotta keep it up. So let's see. Might be worthwhile sending a second squadron as well. My instincts say probably not. Probably is worth it though, I guess. We do see a couple of fighters out there. I suppose the thing is as well is we have to try and knock out these airfields as he will try to utilize them once again. That one at a low star is going to take some time, so I think what we probably want to do then is use some of our fighters over here and keep the bombers potentially hitting these airfields over here. Yeah, no, I know what you mean. I don't think I'm going to go for that. I think I'll continue with the Quantan plan. I'll stick it with just the single squadron to make sure we can cover it. Don't know what surprises we might have in store. So we'll go with that then. And 22nd will be there at Kota Baru shortly. Leave the salaries as they are then as discussed. That works fine. So for the most part, things are underway. We have these orders given. We're just waiting for our assets to be unloaded and then we can get these ships out of the way. So we've got a 42nd over here there moving. The engineers, I did consider potentially building up the airfield over here, but I don't think it's worthwhile. It would be nice to have another size 4, but it's just not a great location for where it is really. If it was on the rail line, it'd be fantastic, but unfortunately not. But that's okay. We'll leave it then as is. Covering the port, which is good. Going to move over there to take that base. So what we're going to do then, I did and ahh about the actual task force over here with the Minikapitae, and I'm going to break that up. So what we're going to do then is, let's see. No. So that would be 10 ships there. With the carriers and the battleships. It might be worthwhile potentially move some battleships out. But I think we'll look for one class of destroyers then to cover them. Alright, we'll take these guys out. Let's see. Right. So there, 32. Now just be 1 second. Yeah. I mean, they operate fine alongside each other for the most part. It's just I'd rather have one class. Take these guys out. So that would put us at 16. I might take some of these battleships out, actually. I'll take Fuso and Yamashiro. They can lead a service task force. Took the wrong one there. Yeah, put Mutsu back in there. I want to keep it down to about 15. Might go for about 16. I mean, it would be nice to have a destroyer for each ship in the group. I want to try to avoid collisions as well, but I don't think we need that many ships in one task force. Right. What do we have here then? The Gumo. Such a bloody good ship. I guess I'll put the Gumo in there. Do have a couple of Yugomos in here as well. We'll start by AA then. Well, there's a really big increase in AA. What I'll do then is leave the Aliake. Go with 16 then. So at least we have a destroyer per ship. Actually, no, I'm going to go back a little. I'll just keep them with the same endurance. Alright, we'll go with that then. I know there's a lot of and R, and just want to make sure we get this right. I'm going to have reaction 0. Infinite has been so kind to aid us with setting up the actual pilots and the actual air complement, which is very good. So this is the complement that we do have here then. So obviously we will be looking to change out the A5M4 claws to zeros in the future. The good news is we're not behind on zero production per se. We haven't lost a great deal, or we haven't lost any with a strike on Pearl Harbor. So we've only lost 2 so far, so we'll be able to cover that, keep things going as well. Really begin to ramp up production shortly, which is going to be a lot of fun. So just go ahead and review those settings. So you can see here we have naval attack, 20% surge, 6, 7 there. Of course, rest and using the torpedoes as you would imagine. Zeros there. The zeros are running the combat patrol at 11. Claude's running the escort. Pretty heavy combat patrol as well. Should be good. Should be good to go. The reason why they're low is obviously just to get them out there. Don't really need them on the combat patrol. We obviously would like to have some just to have that actual edge against something, try and shoot something down. But it's really the job of the A5M4 just to try and tie up anything that comes in there, try and ward it off. So we'll go with that then. I think what we'll be looking towards doing then is, considering the fact we'll be moving on Manadao and Turnat, we will have a third invasion force moving out shortly, is we'll get them probably around about this point, maybe a little bit more in the open, but generally to try and cover them. We are fortunate to have naval search, though it might be worthwhile to try and stay away from some bases. It's hard to say because we are going to be within range of a number of different bases. Probably better to try and reduce the number. Right. Have them set for there for now. I don't want to get too close, but I want to get them out there. Obviously, these guys are going to be moving out ahead. I am somewhat putting them at risk. Thankfully, we haven't detected anything, so I'm going to get a surface task force out there to cover them, really. Reduce that risk there, then. So, what I'll do then is I'll have Fuso Yamashiro. We do have heavy cruisers as well, so we are quite fortunate there. Okay. So it takes us to 7. Pretty manageable for the most part. So we do have plenty, but you never feel like you have quite enough of certain classes. So I'll try to make do. I think this will be fine then, keep that there. I want to try and keep them fairly similar. These are all the same class, which is good, so they'll work fine together. Right, we'll have them go ahead and follow the task force. So this one is landing at Manado. This one's heading for Denat. Have them go ahead and follow. Time it is allowed. That gives them the ability to actually move out and attack if needs be. It probably is worthwhile to try and reduce that distance though, just in case. I don't want them going out and getting dragged out here. Maybe even 1 might be worthwhile, but I think we'll go for just 2. Ooh. I think 2 might be alright for now. We'll go ahead and set up another task force. We do have that one over there. Right, you can go in here for the time being. So, call us the Manadal cover force. Also, we could use that as a bombardment force, if necessary. Kandari landing going ahead. And the Kandari landing is going to be an interesting one. That is a pretty deep penetration there. Alright, okay, so we do have a number of actual heavy cruisers over here, which is great news. So what I'm going to do then is disband that for the time being. Shawa Maru. Right. What can we do with you? In fact, I'm going to have you disband for the time being. I'm considering actually just having... I mean, the Kitakami is really quite nice, actually. The Kitakami could be quite good to actually escort the Kandari force. That should be part of that force, potentially. But it would be significantly better as a service task force. Alright, we have you guys. I'd like to actually get them into this area over here, so we can actually take this base as well. There's no real value of that, but the value comes from the fact that we obviously do take it, and we don't give them a place to actually retreat to then. This base as well would be nice just to try and make sure they do surrender. We could take a number of key bases as well, or just positions along here. We want to try and reduce his ability to strike out at us. So I'm going to have them set for this base over here to begin with. We can potentially use them as Kinnares in the coal mine for the most part. Or they're going to move in there pretty quickly. So we'll get a sense of how bad things are from them. And they do have a chance to survive, which is good. Okay. These guys are doing a great job. We'll give them a third one. Okay. So again, 70-30 there. Add 6, add 8 hexes. So it's going to look good. Right. Let's see then. It might be worthwhile to potentially have a light cruisers. Though the light cruisers do have uses as fast transports, to be honest. They are pretty good at that. They don't have a huge amount of AA, so they're not really doing me a great service by being in here. Like for example, they have pretty comparable AA to the escorts. Yeah. Yeah, we'll go with that then. Just keep with it. I'm going to have you disbanded. I need to find a use for those light cruisers. I think a fast transport force could be very useful. Need to figure out what we want to get out there. We could have them potentially move one of the other engineering units, to be honest. What I'll do then is I'll have them set up as a fast transport, and then we'll figure out what we want to do with them. Figure out which unit we want to move. But I think their best role is going to be in fast transport. Well, I mean, with Jolo, it is a consideration, don't get me wrong. It is a pretty nice consideration. It's more so we're focused in this area here, but Jolo is definitely up there. I feel like we could probably manage to take that by paratrooper in the near future, but we'll see. It is definitely up there. It really is. The reason why I'm not considering it right now is because I'm looking at a focus in this area, but that's definitely on the agenda. Well, we talked about that a little bit earlier, but that is on the agenda. Okay, go ahead and grab the light cruisers. I'm not going to use Kitagami. Yeah, I mean, this is it. This is where they probably are pretty useful. It's that 400 troop capacity. The cargo capacity is not amazing, but it's pretty good. You can have these guys run along with something like an AMC or something like that. They'll do fairly well together. They're not ideal for fast transport. I mean, fast transport's never ideal, but hey, it is what it is. Could always do that. Yeah, so you see 800 does come in useful right now. Essentially, we can move a koi completely. It's a shame that one's about 404, isn't it? Troops as well as those useful. I think we'll look at moving a koi. Yeah, we'll go for that then. Have a knife loaded. That's good then. So we'll get them loaded. We can actually use them then. I'd rather get some use out of them, and I think that's the thing that we need to bear in mind is just we need to follow up as quickly as possible with aviation support. Just keep it rolling, really. Really want to keep that wave rolling on forward. Okay. So go ahead and we'll form the other surface task forces now. We do have a couple of heavy cruisers, which is superb. I did toy with the idea of sending one down that area, really. No, I do have 3. So that's a Myoko, and Myoko. I could have them run individually at the head of a small task force, which is not a bad idea. I think that's probably a preferable idea. And they're pretty good. They are pretty good, solid heavy cruisers, to be honest. So we do have a number of actual destroyers here. So what we could potentially do is run 3 destroyers to a heavy cruiser. Gives us these nice little punch-in forces over here. Ideally keep them under the air umbrella that is protruding out from the barbed wire. We will have the carriers out there. Obviously they're not going to be there to actually cover them directly, but they will cover them indirectly. I mean, actually having that air power on standby nearby in terms of actually being able to attack ships is pretty useful. It's going to be an interesting one. Will they be the target? It probably would be preferable to have these guys as the actual target of an air attack than the actual carriers. Just hoping that they don't die, of course. Get to some float planes out there as well. Additional naval coverage, different assets to give us the naval surge. So we'll have them cover that force. I mean, follow. There we go. And retirement is allowed. So that's one. And two with the battleship one. So we'll make a couple of those. So Haguro. It does leave us with a couple of destroyers I can make use of then. Some of these just, they're not great. But we could potentially use them for other missions. Whether it might be escort for something valuable, potentially ASW, or potentially just additional service task forces, they'll have a use. They're just not fantastic. It's not. I mean, they do have a decent AA. They have better AA than the actual light cruisers. They still aren't with the 120 guns. It's just, yeah. I mean, I suppose in fairness, these guys are dual post as well. It's just, yeah, they're just not as good as the other destroyers. that endurance isn't as great, but they're still useful, and we will make use of them. Okay. Now, actually, what I will do is double up the Kandari double force. Sorry, Kandari cover force. That would be a pretty effective cover force then. Obviously, we'll have the other assets, but it does give us a solid, dedicated force for that task. So it gives us the 8 ships there, which is very effective. We can make use of that. I do have the Fabukis over here. It might be worthwhile to actually have the Fabukis in... I mean, that 219 is really nice. Genuinely very nice. I might have the Fabukis put in with the actual carriers, perhaps. I think I put them in with the battleship force, actually. So there we go, we have 8 ships there to work with. Right, fast transport over there. So we'll call this then, so this is a knife JANF. So we can have that made ready. I could then potentially have them move into Manadao, or Tornado, or potentially even to Namla in the near future. And just essentially try and take care of additional bases and set them up on our side, really. Now, Jolo could be quite a good one as well, actually. Gives us somewhere else to strike from. Okay. Yeah. We'll put the Fabukis in here. They can manage it at 33, so they're not slower. They do have a 12.7s. One of these guys aren't with 12.7, so they'll manage. I was at 19, so yeah, they're pretty. They can manage pretty well together. It gives us a little bit of additional AA in there, a little bit of ASW as well, increase as well, so that's quite handy. So that's pretty solid. Gives us that to work with. The actual carrier group will be moving out, so that is going to be christened officially as the Mini Kidbatai. There we go. That works for me. Right, so they're officially loaded up and ready to go. It might not be a bad idea to put in another patrol boat, to be honest. Just anything, really. We do have some slow ships. It's not a bad idea at this point in time for Tosu. If anything, we could have it split off if needs be in the future, but it's essentially just to act as another target there. Right, it might be worthwhile putting some other ships in here. We do have the DMSs. The DMSs are very useful, and they will be useful actually for the anti-mine efforts. Their AA is pretty abysmal, however. Righto. I think we make use of these destroyers in this sort of form, really. So that looks to be a Fubuki. No, that's a Matsuki. I thought it was a Fubuki, to be honest, with that range. I think we'll make use of them. I think 3,000 and the 4 there would be nice. I was saying that's not a big consideration due to the fact that we can obviously have them shifted. But I guess what I'll do then is... might as well have that in there. I'll put them in. It's not ideal. I would like to make use of them elsewhere, but they all have their uses. Though in fairness, I'm going to have you leave. Stay. So a couple of frees in there. Yeah, I guess it's something. So we'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 destroys in there. It gives us something to work with, really. It is somewhat tempted to take the actual escorts out here and have them shifted out elsewhere, to be honest. They do have the Type 2s. I reckon for the time being we'll make use of them as the actual escorts. Leave that destroyer there to act as an escort itself. But then again, no, I guess what we'll do then is I'm going to take the escorts and keep them here. I can make use of them for convoy missions that do need to be protected. These destroyers will do a good job. I'll put a torpedo boat as well. There we go. So I do have assets to do that, well, that are going to have to go back to the homeland. Right, yeah. Plenty of AOs, that's always handy. Can make great use of them. And we've got a few APs as well, but I'd like to get moving about. So, let's see. It may be worthwhile to actually have the APs head home to Japan. Which is not a bad idea, to be honest. So we can use them to actually convey the naval guard units that will arrive at Tokyo, as well as the base forces as well. That would be quite nice. Let's see. Mayoko. So Kyushu, yeah, we'll get her sent home. I think we'll do it like this then. Try and get ships that need to be sent home actually back there. Try and reduce the amount of assets that we have on the front line do Nafol. Now the Lima's there. What do they cruise at? 11? Not as much as I would like. I don't think it's 11, but we'll see. No, it must be 11, I guess. So we'll have them run as a force. I'll send the escort with them. I do need a couple of long-range escorts, so they're going to be very handy. So I'll have them head back. I can have them go pick up the units as we discussed from Tokyo in the future. There we go. Now, The ships such as the lemurs are pretty damn handy. It may be worthwhile to retain them on the front lines for the time being, as they do have a pretty good capacity. They can move quickly. Right, we'll stick with that as is then for the time being. See, escorts could be actually really quite handy down in this area, as obviously we're going to be foraying out quite far. It would be nice to have them to be able to cover assets around the Philippines as well. I do have a couple of invasion forces coming down here, so I think what we'll do then is actually have the escorts sent out this way. It's not ideal, as obviously they're going to be burning a lot of fuel to get over here, so maybe not the best idea. See, Kunakawa and Maru's on her own at this moment in time. Yes. To be honest, it probably is worthwhile moving without the escort, as we are able to move quickly. We've got 14 there crews, that slows it to 12. I do have a few ships over there that could be escorted back to the homeland, so I'm going to go ahead and take that. Their speed will see them through for the most part. So I'll have you move over there to Saipan. Right, we do have the ground cover force there. So that's quite handy then. We do have a solid task force in this area then. Now, the issue is we don't have... Well, we do have naval search coming from here then. So, we can assume 20 is the limit there, isn't it? So we do have... Okay, so we do have coverage over this area, which is nice. So I don't think we need to push out their range any further. Right, we do have you moving down there as well. There we go. So, the air flotillas, air headquarters, etc. They'll be moving by this area shortly. Right, okay. So you're still here, unloading. Yep, not gonna happen. Subchase is okay. Plenty of subchasers there to work with. Would be nice to maybe have a little bit of fuel here to use this as something of a subchaser base. I could get a auxiliary in here potentially to help us out. It would mean I would need a little bit more in the way of supply, but I could actually just have them based out of a party, to be honest. That's something to bear in mind. Do I want to do that? I'm really tempted. I am very much tempted. Okay. Well, what I think I'll do then is we could get a auxiliary, set that up at Bataan Island then, and just try and make use of these areas over here. Actually use them for the SW values that they do represent. It gives us something to actually patrol the area, which is very nice. Especially this area over here as well, just trying to keep it under wraps. Right, something like that. Right, base you out of a party. So I think an auxiliary to a party would be good. Right, they're moving down that way, so I can't set them a patrol pattern as a... Well, actually, no, I can do. I can have them set to a patrol pattern, can't I? So clear that destination, then obviously set to home base there, so that's fine. Might set 2 down there, actually. I mean, this is it. The submarines are going to be coming, so I think it probably is worthwhile to try and cover these areas where we know they'll be trying to get us. Right, there we go. Cover that area. Right, there we go. So the home base of to Laug. Liaug, however the hell you pronounce it. So what I need now is a support. And of course I don't have it. Not ideal. Take the 14. I'm going to take this up here about as well to give it a little bit more protection. I'm going to have you actually set out and head for Lao. I could do it in a parry. Yeah, not exactly a attractive concept. They'll make the best of it nonetheless. Just trying to think how we can make maximum usage of our forces, really. Yep, they're looking good. So we'll have them not get moved out. They'll also disband when they do arrive. It might be that I said that home port to be a party for the time being. I don't bloody have an AO. Sorry, AG. I was hoping I would. I should have one around here, surely. We'll see. Ah, it's really bloody quiet and chat tonight, isn't it? Ah, where is everybody? Ah. Boo. I guess this is what happens when obviously there's some sort of fucking virus. Ah, it's not as much fun when there's not as many people. Boo. Ah well, we'll manage. We'll make do. Right, the AMC Iceycrome and Congo Maru. Don't have an escort for you right now. Right, get you to Pescadores. There we go. Ah, how you doing there, Racer? Yes, we've got some more. We've got some new blood. New blood at last. I don't know what to do if I don't have people questioning what I'm doing. I feel weird then. Okay, Kyushu, yeah. Okay, yeah. I would like to have you sent back home. Though actually saying about it, 5-9, you can actually be overhauled at Pescadores, actually. So I'm going to get you going over there. How you doing there, Hanami? Good to have you, my friend. How are you guys doing? How are you all? Weird time? I know, right? It's kind of weird, isn't it? You never want to go out more than when you feel like you can't. It's weird, isn't it? While I am doing this as well, I do have in my left hand my phone. I'm scouring eBay. I'm trying to pick up a Craft World Eldari Wraith Knight. I can see one going for cheap. That's really nice to paint, so I'm going to try and pick it up while I'm doing this. Yeah, I know, right? I know, right? Okay, so we've got this situation sorted out over here then. I mean, I will try to... We should have things pretty much ready to go shortly. If there's anything else, it's probably going to be done just off-cam, just to make sure. And then I probably might do a summary then just afterwards, just to make sure everybody knows what's going on, which is always very handy. But for the most part, we have things going on, which is great. There's not a terrible amount else. Right, I could add in the additional destroys there. Yeah, these guys for Bookies too, which are really nice. Especially covering the Kidbatai. Yeah, we do have the oiler there. So we do have fuel if we need it. Right. Kamikaze class. So I'm going to dock you. Have you guys shift into the main Kidbatai. That AA is pretty welcome. I may shift them all in there, to be honest. Yeah, but we'll see. We can make use of those DDs for other missions around here anyhow. Right, okay. So I should have some additional ships over here at Quadulane, actually. Yeah, I know, I know. I mean, I'd never play if I always felt like I was doing something wrong. Okay. So I've got the 53rd Naval Guard there. I will be more chatty in a moment, actually. I'm just watching this, like, bid. It's got 3 minutes left. I was trying to decide on how much I actually want to pay for a Wraith Knight. I don't know. Not that much. Right, okay. It's got the replenishment over here. So she's loading fuel right now, which is good. Get that moving. We've got a couple PBs over here, which are pretty good. Yeah, this is a force for the Tarawan invasion. The only bloody issue is obviously these short-legged ships. Well, these ships that just don't have that speed I'm wanting. See what we can do about that. So, I've got a 15 over here to use an N. And so you... She still cruises at 12, which is handy. Get her in there. I'm going to take out these guys, just too slow. It doesn't leave me a huge amount, so I'll take the 14. Yeah, this is it. It doesn't leave me a huge amount, but at least I've got a couple of ships over here that I can get a decent bit of capacity. I can definitely get a Naval Guard unit on there. So let's take a look. Yeah, we have a Naval Guard unit. Oh, God damn it, I spoke too soon. Ah, bugger me. It's not ideal. Right, what do we have down here then? So there's nothing actually in port besides these ships. Okay. Well, I don't need to move the entire thing immediately. I could always do a fast transport mission. It's not the end of the world, I guess. So we're looking at 12. Do we have anything that can match that? It just feels like a shame just to have to come down so much. And Kotori could do a fast transport, to be honest, and carry the rest. That's fine. So what we'll do then is we'll load up the 53rd. Yeah, we'll go with that. Verified load, get that going. So then we can have Kotori pick up the rest. And I imagine you could probably handle it. Okay. Not fuel. Sorry, we'll look more at the screen in just a moment. 45 seconds. Okay, yeah, we'll go with that. That should be enough there to carry the rest, which is going to be great. So we'll get them going. Awesome. Okay. Righto. Come on, highest bidder. Come on. Few seconds left. Come on. Did I get it? Think so. Fuck, I hate you, mate. It's a bloody ride sometimes. Okay, right, we got the Katori there. Yes! Oh, thank God for that. Okay. I know I shouldn't be doing things on the side, but I'm gonna show you guys what I like bid for, so you can enjoy the excitement as well. You can see what I was trying to do live for the entirety of the stream there. We're more or less, we're looking pretty good. Let's see. Yeah, this is what I was bidding on, so I'm like, yay, got it. So I'm happy. It's awesome painted. It's better than I could ever paint, so I'm happy there. Plus it's cute. Cute and huge. Right, there we go. Right, oh, God, I'm sorry. Right, so we've got them being loaded there. So what we can do is, once they are loaded, get the 53rd naval guard. You can tell the difference in when I'm paying full attention now, can't you? So we'll get them moving. I do want to move down here, but we do want to actually make sure we can get some aviation support. That's going to be the actual issue here, really. So let's take a look at what we have in the area. So it might actually... yeah, we've got the 7th JNF. How big are you? 404. I can't entirely strip this area of aviation support either. So we are going to be really relying upon AVs. Which, speaking of, I need to get them rerouted this way. I think we need them more down this area than anything else. I'm going to have them head for, let's say, to Lagi for the time being. Need to get them out there. I'll get the the escorts from Bardwab to head out and meet them at truck. Around the area of truck, anyhow. And I can actually have them wait there until they pass. Let's see. Yeah, we can have them link up around about that point there. And so give it about 2 days and then I'll have them sent out to link up with the AVs. And then at least we've got a proper escort, which I'm pretty happy about then. Yeah, we can work with that. Okay. Right. Troops over there. We do have a large landed force on its way south as well. So the ASW is going to be a thing that we do need to set up as well. Okay. So we've got a long combined sweep over there. Got the escorts in here at Tokyo. Now, question is, let's see. Defensive mines. Can you actually support the mines? Can you actually act as a tender? I don't think so. Question is, where would I like to have these guys? I'm going to get them moving out, these cruiser mine layers. I think I'll have them head out to the Marianas to begin with, and we can figure out where we want to disperse them then. And do we have anything to act as in a, I don't know, just some sort of escort? Kinsamaru. Let's get you out there for the time being. Then once we get past, and probably once we get past Egashima, then we'll go ahead and probably detach them. I'll have them head for Saipan to begin with. There's a few bases I'd like to have mines available. Right, here we go. Couple of conversions to obviously make here. Standard Cs will be useful later on in the war as well, so we can have them converted into tankers. So how's like them? Ehabs, there we go. Lemurs, always handy. And the ever-brilliant Kyushu. AVs. Yeah, there's really no context there. Having an AV just gives you so much to work with. I've got the Hishimis. These guys I'm going to convert to, well, just, yeah, auxiliary pairs in the near future, really. The reason being that they're pretty damn good at it, and I'd rather not use better ships that could be used to do else. Just other things, really. Just more useful things, to be honest. Yeah, we'll go with that. Okay. So we'll leave you as you are with the Hashimi then. You do have a Lima. I've got a couple Limas actually being converted over into AKEs, just in case we need something with a bit more capacity in the near future. Should be able to manage just fine there. We've got the Ansarios, which are going to be fantastic, so we'll get them going. I just can't wait to actually make use of all these guys. We're going to have a lot of actual patrol boats, which is excellent. It never feels like we have enough, so we might be able to get somewhat there, somewhat closer to actually having a decent complement. There we go. And these E-hives, no, these Aidens, okay. Well, we have an E-hive over here. Have you converted to a destroy tender? Quick time of only 45 days. We'll have these converted to AKs as well. I would like to have an excess of them available if we want to convert them back, but I can't imagine us wanting or needing to convert them back, really. There'll always be a use for them, really. There's always a use for an AK. Yeah, AGs need these guys. A little bit desperate for them, to be honest. If we can have an AG just on auxiliary, just a support ship, really, whenever we have ASW patrols, then we'll be good to go. Right. Gunboat tender. I think as well, we can always have the construction of cargo ships, so obviously like other classes of cargo ships. Go ahead in the future if we need any more. Now, I'd imagine the Japanese merchant marine is going to be sufficient for the time being anyhow. So we'll go with that then. So that leaves us with a couple of other ships over here. Shimis, which we'll obviously hold on to. The Tohos, which are pretty damn good. I'd like to have one actually head over to Nagasaki, to be honest. I do like the Tohos. There we go. Right, so Lima. Aidens are good. Alright, AMCs. There we go. So that does give me plenty of capacity that can move quickly, which is what we want. Now we should have a number of aviation units on the way over to Tokyo. A number of other units as well, should be very handy. Now if I take a look, we have the 4th Division over here, which we can get loaded shortly. Okay. A lot of ships here. I'm going to go ahead and disband them all into the port here. Right, so we've got the APs over here. So, yep, you can see that is going to be a lot of capacity. Kyushu, yep. That's an instant conversion to an AV. Some other ships as well, like Limas, Usanans, will get them moved to where we want to have them. I've got them in a few centres right now, just to actually spare out some capacity. But we'll narrow it down to where it needs to be in the near future, really. Right. Yeah, this is going to be really handy in the near future as well, to just move in masses of troops. Okay, there we go. Load troops only. And verify. There we go. So that is a lot of cargo ships. Okay. I've got 2 PPs in there, but I would like to have a little bit more than that. That'll do for now. Okay, so 4th Division I'm going to head out to Malaya. Though there is an argument to be made for potentially heading for Palembang. I think obviously head for the Malayan direction anyway. And Palembang really is up there. I think what I would like to do is probably get a... I don't know, it's one of those, isn't it? I think we'd like to get a division potentially from in the Malayan area already, potentially down that way. Right. Obviously not that random hex. I'll have it head for the port of Kotobaru. If I have it head for the port of Kotobaru, I mean, it's one of those, is it worthwhile having it head there? We're going to not really be making terribly a large amount of progress so far. If we do head there, as we'll still be moving down here. It probably is worthwhile to actually have this division maybe just used for Palembang, to be honest. So what we'll do then is we'll have it head for Saigon to begin with. And then we can actually decide where it's going to truly head. I'm feeling potentially Saigon though. Feeling potentially Palembang. I can pick up some extra escorts on the way down then. Alright, there we go. You do have a repair ship yard, very handy. Right, here we go. Okay. So we've got a lot of capacity. A lot of lovely ships to work with. Couple of Ansoyos over here. Get them going. Right, Aidens. So I'm going to be making use of the Tohos and the Aidens actually to move resources. So I'm going to get the Aidens out. I don't need something terribly quick, and they've got a good actual cargo capacity. I mean, even 12's not bad. The endurance is not bad. Pretty good. Right, there we go. So... I've got a task force set up, obviously. I've got a convoy going from Shanghai to Nagasaki. We don't have a convoy at the moment for Port Arthur, but we should have a few Tohos I could use over there, but I have the 40 Knotters. Might be worthwhile for the convoy over this way. But I think I'll have them move out to Fukuoka. Possibly. Could use them for potentially run out of Kijo as well, if needs be. I think Kijo is sitting pretty there. How much are we looking at? 470. Yeah, there's a decent amount of storage. There's a lot of actual assets over here. Okay, so let's see cargo. Get these guys out of here, and back to Japan. Right, I don't have a repair shipyard there, so I'm going to have them actually head out elsewhere to Nagasaki. There we go. Right, these are Tohos. Oh, so you need to be moved into the 33rd Division Flotilla. Well, the force kind of 33rd Division, which is over here. There we go. Plenty of capacity right there. Yeah, there we go. So I'm going to load up. And again, I'm going to have them head for Saigon to begin with until we really figure out where we want them. And that would be 2 divisions, which would be, I'd imagine, more than sufficient to take Palembang. It may be that we look towards using our air power to shut down Singapore first. And then, yeah, I think we'll do that. Take the bases and I can move up. As long as I can stop them from actually building up the fortifications, I'm quite happy. Do somewhat to delay the advance in Singapore. Obviously, I'll move down here with our forces. But I do have sufficient force in Malaya Peninsula to do that. I think what I'd like to do is try and take Palembang first. So we'll have them head out for Saigon as well. It could be that we even potentially favour a strategy of shutting down other areas. Well, maybe Sumatra first, maybe Java as well, potentially. I mean, 2 divisions there. We'd have a 3rd division over in this way. That could be a pretty sizable force, potentially move on Java as well. We'll see how the pennies drop, really. Just going to get things underway. So we were quite fortunate over here, actually. It's quite surprising he didn't move them out, but I'm not going to get complacent. Especially when we have this many assets and underway, really. It's just not worth it. Let's take a look at that. So we covered in this area over here. It only has 2 bombers, so I don't think I need to be afraid of that. So they've run naval search there. So I can reduce that amount down. How much aviation support do I actually have here? Not as much as I would like, so I should tone that down. Okay. So they're moving in. 38th moving in there. Yeah, so we should ideally have Hong Kong next turn then. So we are going to be dealing with those ships moving out there. So I don't want to have anything escape. We do have a naval bombers over there. So we are looking pretty good. We're looking pretty good over in this area, frankly. Tell them to take the base. What I'll do then is actually have them head over here. I could potentially have them link up there. Though, let's see. It might be worthwhile to potentially have them as a service task force for the time being. They do like the torpedoes though, that's the only problem. But they could act as just something of a additional asset in the area. Let's see. There we go. Some mine tenders would be very nice. I don't want to convert all of them. I do want to have some ships on just available just for small little jobs. Kiso ease. Right, here we go. Right, mine layer tender. There we go. Right, I'll do for the time being then. Right, so they're an ASW in this area there, so they're also going to help to try and tangle up these forces over here. I think we're looking good. I mean, if they do move out of Hong Kong, which I imagine they're going to have to, we do have a decent number of actual forces to try and cover that area. We'll have a service, yeah, we'll have 2 service task forces near the area with the destroyers and light cruiser, really. So we can manage that. We do have a heavier cover force over here, which I'm eager to make use of. So patrol around this area. I'm going to reduce that down to 1, just in case. It is an interesting question. Will he actually try to make some sort of foray out here? The answer is potentially so. These guys are set for 8 hexes. It's 15, obviously that's not going to be within range. Without a shadow of a doubt. So we don't have any aviation support here yet. Alright, it's unloading, there's only a little bit of supply now. What I will do then is get them moving back. I really don't want to have anything linger any longer than it needs to. Especially when things like this can dock. Alright, so we'll get you moving. Back to the cow. Okay. I'm going to have you act as, let's see. I think just a surface task force just for the time being. And then I can actually come back in there, load up those troops once they do take the base. Just something just to cover this immediate area. Yeah, that's good orders. Well, actually not a cow. It's only a little bit of a difference, but it would be nice to have that. So I'll have that just at 1 hex. Right, me with 9-9. Merge there. Alright, at least that's some sort of cover there. Make sure you actually go ahead and take the base. Yeah, they're going to go ahead and take that. And so then we can actually get the rest of the Naval Guard units moved over here to the Pari, pick up the rest of the Naval Guard, and have them move down here to Legazpi. More than likely anyhow. Then begin moving over the Naval Guard unit up to the north. Got to get these forces unloaded though, that's the big thing right now. Right, a couple of surface, sorry, some chasers. Right, again, I'm going to need some supplies, and I'm going to need some AGs or something of that nature at Batan. Then can head down here to Laog. What I'll do is have them set up on patrol. There we go. Then also they can be moved into there in the near future. Yeah, moving him back into that position there. It's got a key, so we get that moved to Pescadores. There we go. Patrol boats are patrolling. Another surface task force over here is brilliant news. It just gives us that protection, and that's really what I'm after right now. I just want to make sure that we have enough protection. I want to make sure that our forces do not get picked off, so that would be a disaster. I can get the assets moving out of this area eventually afterwards. You know, to be boats moving. And the bit boats will be handier, nonetheless. So I'm looking forward to using them. Right, you're underway there. So we're going to have a Sinkawang actual invasion force being made ready. We've got this set up over here. We're going to keep the bombers over in Indochina until they're actually ready to be made use of. These assets are moving out. We're going to take these bases. We were quite fortunate to take Kotabaru, which is brilliant news. So essentially, let's take a look. The regiment over here, what am I going to do with you? Well, we're going to go with you. If I go south, that's pretty awful. I could potentially march over here to Kuantan, but I'd like to take Kuantan from the... well, it's got a decent garrison as well. That's the issue there. I think best bet's to march it north and head along this way. Yeah, Kuantan is a good one. I really do want to take Kuantan. I mean, I could march there. It's just I just worry about this transition from the road, and without the road there, it's going to take us a long time. I think we could probably land. Even then, it's like jungles, which is awful. We'll see. We'll see about that. I think I'm going to try to neutralize the base, but even then, I'd like to take the base. It's a tough one. If I have them move over here, if I bring the road overlay back up, if I have them move over here, I can take advantage. I mean, it's going to take a while to get to this position here, but then at least we do have a major road. So that does speed it up. There's secondary road there, then I can have the major roads to take advantage of this area over here. I'm just trying to get enough force I can actually move down the actual peninsula. But it's not a bad idea potentially have it made ready to it probably is worthwhile to actually consider using this unit to amphibiously land here. I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to retain the actual regiment over here. I think that makes sense at 56. Unless, well actually no, I could potentially do having them linked up to reform the 18th Division. But I can do both. I think what we'll do then is we'll have it made ready for Kwantan. I could potentially even have it planned for Kwantan. It's planned for Singapore now. I guess we'll leave it as is. I'm going to have them rest then. But I would like to get them moving. I could potentially have... so let's see. I could even use you to actually suppress the forces of Kwantan. I think I will keep some heavy cruisers around here. Maybe not as many. Maybe a little bit more cover. That would be ideal. Couple DDs there. Okay. Right. So go Megami. Makuma. So these are all Megamis, aren't they? Yep. I'd like to have that split up into 2 solid task forces, actually. Could I wrangle a few more destroyers from around here? Fubuki 2s? Yeah, we should be able to manage that. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I think that's what we're going to do. We're gonna ready for a land in a Kwantan. I think that probably is the best bet there. If anything as well, it prevents it from using it. We'll be hitting the airfield in the following turn. We should have hit the airfield already with bombers, but unfortunately that did not go ahead. Doesn't mean we can't do it again. It might go ahead this time around. It would be nice to make sure we can actually shut it down, really. So now, I think what we'll do then is we could split that into 2 service task forces, and I think that's what we will do then. So we'll have as a Kwantan cover force, really. It's going to be somewhat at risk with submarines. Potentially even enemy aircraft. But we'll manage that. We do have some additional capacity over here to actually move stuff. I don't think I want to be using an AP against this over here, but that's something to bear in mind. So what I can potentially do then is have it head over here to Kotapuru. Use that to actually cover the forces over here. But what I will do then is we'll have it follow that force there. So we'll have it follow. Time it is allowed. I'm going to take one, I'm going to divide it actually. Okay. See, this is a lot of cruiser force really, isn't it? But what I'm thinking is I could take some destroyers from the force escort and the BBs to actually link up over here, considering I do have additional destroyers in Cambran Bay. It would leave them without cover the time being, which is not great. I might just keep it as a unified force then for the time being. I'll keep it as a unified force for the time being then. It is a big ass force for something like that though. We'll have them followed for one turn, but I can get a sufficient amount of destroyers assembled to split it into 2 then, really. Okay. So go shy. So I can actually use them for fast transports as well, actually. And I think I should do that. They can't handle a huge amount, but it is worthwhile to get them going. Yeah. Now, that would be well worthwhile to do. I can't get any forces to land here yet. What I'm going to do then is... I've got the 22nd Air Flotilla headed to Kutabaru, so that's obviously sufficient capacity there. I could use that capacity then to carry the infantry regiment down here to Kwantan. As we discussed, obviously have the fighters from Kutabaru actually cover the landed force over there. That's quite good. I could then potentially use the heavy cruisers to actually cover us from the... well, actually cover us on the surface. And potentially even give us a bombardment to actually soften up the area. It would be one of those of where, well... it could significantly damage the airfield. But it would be worthwhile to try and make sure we can take it. Obviously, we can get some engineers there who can make use of it immediately. Okay, might be able to carry both of those JAFs. Those coins would be really good to actually make use of. If I had 2 coins there, that'd be nice. And obviously, the second one, the 33rd, isn't very large. But I'll make use. Let's see, can we fit them aboard? Let's see... yeah, I can manage that. 192 plus 426 is go time. A little bit of AV there. Yep, that's really manageable. I can do that. Awesome. I'm just putting a bit about just... not really necessary, but it's another target, isn't it? Right, so we'll get that loaded up. So dock them. I don't want you to unload your cargo, but I'll have you shifted over here to Kutabaru. Right, there we go. I could even potentially use up something like Tinkawang, but we'll get it loaded up and made ready to go. I need the auxiliary down in the south. I could do with some auxiliaries over here in Malay as well if I'm going to be actually covering the area. To such patrol boats. Never mind. Not a great deal. Not a great deal. These are 11 Nautas could be handy outside Marie, but I'm not going to be moving fuel from there yet. Yeah, I've got Chokai over here, plenty of destroyers. Capacity here as well, which is good. Okay. As soon as we can upgrade them, we will. The question is, where do we want to destroy Tanto? It might be worthwhile in Marie, but I don't think... yeah, probably would be worthwhile. Maybe in Malaya. I guess I get shifted to Malaya, then it gives us something where we could potentially rearm from, which is always... it's always valuable. It's always worthwhile. Not a great deal of choice there, but it'll do, I guess. In a pinch, anyway. There is a temptation to move it to Marie. I just don't think it's that worthwhile. So I might have it moved over to Kutabaru as well, and then shift it from there. There we go. So you're loading troops right now. See, I do have more than enough right there. Let's get that moving down there. I'm going to have the light cruiser actually made available in this area. They're brilliant for this sort of thing. I can make a lot of use of them. So I can have it move into Soktrang, and then I can actually shift out some of the assets there. Yeah, 400 is pretty good. So I can have that used as a fast transport then, really. Get the actual koi out of there, get it shifted to where it wants to be. And that works. I mean, that is really good. We can actually make a lot of use of that then. Okay. We'll go with that. I mean, as for where the BP will end up, though, that is a question, isn't it? It could be well worthwhile to potentially have it head to Babaldoir. I do worry if I move it through this area, it's going to be too much of a risk. There is allied air power here, and there are heavy bombers. It might be just too risky to try and attempt that. It could be potentially worthwhile to actually act as a cover force down here, to be honest. That is something to take into consideration. I could potentially have it move out to an area where the fuel is and potentially harbour it there. It might be worthwhile to retain it to Saigon for the time being. Potentially... I would like to make use of the guns over here, to be honest. Then again, it's a fast... Those are fast. They're just... Yeah. I need to make use of them. We'll have it shift out of Babaldoir, I guess. But then again, it could be really handy to cover a invasion of Palembang, to be honest. What do you guys reckon, then? Where should we move the Kongo Naruna? I mean, I'd like to get into the I'd like to get into the Kiribatai. Ultimately, so it probably is worthwhile to get the get them moving out, really. Probably get the Kongo and Haruna to the Marshals, potentially, or somewhere around that region, link up with the Kiribatai. Take Jolo. You really like Jolo. Yeah, Jolo is well worth it. I think we'll have this force go ahead and take Jolo then. I do need some aviation to follow that up though. Which I could do with the actual light cruisers. Or even this force over here actually potentially. Have it head for Jolo perhaps. Could get an escort in there. No, you are right. It would be very useful to have that. What I'll do then is I'll use Chokai. They can't be made use of yet. Well, I can't upgrade them yet, but what I'm going to do then for the time being then to cover a movement to Jolo. Escort that force. God damn it. Right, I'm gonna have the... Yeah, I want them to head to Babaldoir. So that would be the safer one around, which does make sense. I don't know, we could potentially force this area. I could probably move through this area. It might be worthwhile to actually send them through to Babaldoir like that. What we've got on here? We've got... I think we'll head to Babaldoir this way. I could even have them potentially head to Manadao. I think it would be worthwhile to potentially have additional support this way. So we'll move through the area, see how we go. it might actually be worthwhile to bombard potentially Porto Princesa. One of these bases out here. Well, no, not that one, sorry. There is a base that is... It might be Jolo that I'm thinking of, actually, yeah. I don't think it's going to be using that one. But yeah, we'll have it shifted out this way. It could be useful to try and shut down a base if necessary. I do worry, but we do have the ability to escort them via zeros from Miri. So that's something to bear in mind. I think we'll make use of it. We do have time to change our minds if it is necessary. But we'll get it done. We'll get it done. As to whether it's actually necessary to have that cruiser force there, probably not. It's just trying to make use of our assets in this area, really. Trying to achieve as much as we can. Yeah, this could be very handy. There's plenty of assets here. But not terribly many that I can actually hold on to right now. Let's see, what am I doing with the 143rd? So you're marching, aren't you? I could actually have you move across via amphibious transport. So 55th is a bat and bang. Where in the living hell is Bat and Bang? I can't remember where it is now. Bigger. Oh, there we go, Bat and Bang, okay. But they're moving out via rail. So yeah, we'll get them moved via ship. It gives us another regiment I could potentially use at Kwantan if necessary. See, they're planning for Sinkawang as well, actually, aren't they? That is tempting. I think what I'll do then is I'll get the actual necessary, lifting capacity over there. There we go. So I've got 2 more there as well, so I could make use of them. I don't want to have APs sent into a dangerous area. Though I could even have them. But then, yeah, I don't know, it's one of those, isn't it? It's like, it's very high speed, but it's very high risk. But we'll get them into Saigon anyhow. Then I can load up the regiment. I've got one over there that I can actually begin to load up the regiment with already. We do thankfully have a lot of patrol boats, so that would be nice to actually have them covered. Not very many fast ones, but at least it's something. I've got the torpedo boat. I can make use of that, so I'm going to take that out to the cruiser force to actually have it in there. So we'll dock. So 348. So I can actually carry them aboard one ship, which is handy. But that is a lot of risk, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to wait for the other ships to be arrive. And then at least I can spread it out. Potentially could move out a base force as well, potentially, or even a smaller aviation unit. Just somewhat really, I just want to get these assets out there. But it is actually really welcome thought to think, right, okay, that I could, if necessary, send 2 regiments at it. Right, okay. And even then, if we decide otherwise, I can get them moving. We do have a lot of assets on the way as well, which is good news. 55th there, elements there to remake the division. So we are going to obviously want to cover this area with surface assets. It might be worthwhile just to actually cover this area with the cruisers. And in fact, I'm going to cover that with the cruisers just in case. So I'll follow that task force. I think just to make sure we have something there, we don't know what he might have in mind, so I don't want to get caught out, frankly. So we'll cover that area. Right, so we've got that more or less sorted. I don't think it's terribly much else we can do there. We're just waiting for their assets to actually arrive over here so we can begin the march. The 65th is going to begin marching, which is brilliant news. So they're moving now. So we can have them actually make it out over here. They're planning for Bataan, which is good. So we'll try to make a speedy push. We'll see what can be managed. China, things are moving. In Manchuria, I've got the troops assembling over here to Mukden. They're going to take some time to arrive, but they're being moved out there. And they're going to be in strategic mode as well, so I can actually have a huge influx of troops ready to start bashing down. It probably might be just go for the most straightforward method. We'll see. Okay. So they're moving out. Right, so unfortunately I don't have as much as I would like, but I'm going to have to just bloody bear with it, aren't I? I do have an AP, though. Oh, that'll do. That'll ding-dan-daddy-do. That's actually fantastic. That's, yeah, that solves all my problems. I'm really happy about that. I'm going to take these guys. It's going to be decently covered. It's going to be probably one of the best covered forces, but I want to get that out there. Right, so let's see. Yep, get the 53rd out there. I could even potentially have the 53rd shifted. They're not as quick as I would like. Let's see, actually. You can handle 38. What it might be worthwhile doing, then. It is actually pretty tempting. Let's see, you cruise at 14. You guys cruise at 12, don't you? I was contemplating them for a moment. Is it worthwhile to maybe have them place on the fast ships, so like the 18 knotters, to have them speedily move down here to Comac? I'm going to have them head down to New Caledonia, actually, though. I want to take this island. If I can get to Comac, then at least I can get my boots along the shore there and try to get into the area. I want to get moving down there. As to whether it's actually going to happen, I don't know. We'll have to see about that. But if I can get the actual assets moving in the right direction, then that's good news. So get them loaded, get them moved out there. They've got a pretty good, strong task force there to cover. I mean, well, it's not strong, you know what I mean? But it's still a good number of actual patrol boats. And that is really quite good. What I could do is actually take a... let's see, actually. I'm going to need them to load supply. There's not a great deal of supply here, but I would like to actually get them moving there. But I was saying that I can't take too much, can I? Yeah, no, that's something I have actually talked about not too long ago, actually. I'm putting more of an emphasis on this area to begin with. Obviously, we moved in two parts of the Zero Squadron over here, and we do have the other squadron of Zeros over here. I'm just going to say squadrons. Detachments of Zeros, what do you want to call it? Wings. So we've got 3 wings of Zeros over here. We've got another wing of Zeros here. What I would love to do is, as soon as we're able, I would love to take the Zeros from over here, covered in the Philippines, and actually have them shifted out to cover this area here. We will have the 22nd Air Flotilla moving down this way. What I might do then in the near future, once this area is no longer requiring... Well, once we have Kotobruk covered with the Air Flotilla, as to whether I have the Air Headquarters move down here to actually take over, and then have the 22nd Air Flotilla shifted up to the north, but then the 22nd Air Flotilla could be shifted down here to Sinkwang. It's an interesting one. I don't specifically need torpedoes to be effective over here, but it would be nice. But we'll see. We might be able to find another headquarters to get moved into this area, or to see if we can manage. But I think what I might do is probably try to shut down Rangoon's airfield potentially first, so I can actually have... but then even... no, it's not worth it unless I can actually get torpedoes out there, isn't it? We'll see how we can manage. We'll see how we want to manage it anyway. We'll figure it out as we go, really. It's just trying to figure out what our priority is going to be. We've got 2 divisions that are coming from Japan. I'm going to have the 38th Division coming from Hong Kong shortly. So that'll be 3 divisions. We've got the 18th, we've got the 55th, we've got the Imperial Guard Division, which takes us to 6. I've got the Royal Thai Army Division. I'm going to have the Royal Thai Army Divisions push along this area pretty harsh, pretty quickly, pretty rough, pretty aggressively is the word I'm looking for. So ideally we might be able to push against Rangoon and try and push him there. Doubtful. But we'll see what we can manage. Subs are moving out. Subs are moving to their positions. They're moving mostly to the marshals. We've set up these guys over here to go and bombard Wake Island, try and just protect us against the Wildcats. But it's one of those. We're just gonna go with it, really. See what we can manage. I'm gonna send them to a high threat threshold just to make sure. Need them to do that bombardment. Need them obviously to remain on the station so I can link them back up over here. But ideally that could try and reduce the amount of fighters over there. The Kiribatai is going to remain in position. You know what is tempting though is I could potentially have them... Right. So I've got a couple of Naval Guard units over here, to be honest. Just need to get them moving, really. Just need to get them moving. Let's take a look. So from truck... Obviously those guys can move down in the future. The Kyushus would be nice to get moving out, but we'll see. I may need that capacity, to be honest. Right, let's see. So amphibious... Not a lot to work with there. So that would give me 1,000, which is not a lot. You're gonna switch them back to naval search. I don't want to be doing that unless I can cover them, really. Okay. So frankly, I'm hoping this is going to be enough of a bait to try and draw his carriers potentially out from the, I don't know, from Pearl Harbor. We'll see if we can manage. The Kiribatai is going to remain in position. At least we've been able to strengthen it with another 2 destroyers, which is okay. It gives us, at the end of the day, it gives us a little bit more there, gives us a little bit more cover. It's a top heavy task force, isn't it, with 6 battleships and quite a few cruisers and etc. 6 battleships, sorry, 6 carriers, 2 battleships and a couple cruisers. So obviously having the destroyers there is quite nice. It might be worthwhile to actually shift these destroyers in there as well. I think so. We don't have a use for them right now, so I'm going to shift them in there. So that takes us to 24 ships in the Kiribatai. Helps the AA a little bit. Obviously, it stops... it doesn't add up as much after 15 ships in there. They don't contribute as much as, obviously, a law of diminishing returns. But at least with that in there, we have something to manage. So I'm quite happy with that, to be honest. AS would be nice. I'm going to need ASs, but I'm going to need the fuel as well. Do you have an AD there? So I'm going to need AVs, I'm going to need ASs, so we're going to need quite a lot, aren't we? Right. I'm going to grab these escorts. Need a bit of capacity there. What I'm going to do then is just disband that. We'll set it up as a... just set it up as an escort. Everything can do escort. I've already got the Oracle. Iriko would be handy though. She's pretty unique in that. I'm gonna get her out there. I can take these supplies. I can use these supplies then to actually help us shift to the south. And I do need more, but I would like to have enough. If I'm going to be moving down this way, I need to have supply. Question is, am I taking from one hand to... It's one of those, it's a tough one because we don't have a huge deal of support. Just able to be moved willy-nilly, or troops able to be moved willy-nilly, as we set up for something else other than this, really, to be honest. So it's an intriguing one. It is genuinely, it is an intriguing one here. So I'm trying to figure out how we can actually manage this. We do have additional supplies and down to Bardwire, so I don't think I need as much, but it would be worthwhile to have supplies. Yeah, Rebel ASAP, that's a good one. What we could do then is... So I do have a Corvair. Ildacol can remain here. Bizarre. Oh, yeah, this would be handy in here actually, so I can use Revolver to rearm subs. Not an option though. So I do have the Mayora detachment, but I'm not going to use that. I'm going to use the first SNF there. Grab a koi. Let's double check then. So 15, 12. I need obviously enough. I was thinking that I can get force in there to actually help take Rabal and then the aviation support as well. The aviation support is bloody desperately needed if we're going to make any sort of success of this. It's not ideal because obviously I have these forces intended elsewhere, but I can manage a little bit. We do have additional forces coming to Babardwa. We haven't taken what we need to be successful at Babardwa. We have forces already set up there. I've got equivalent to a division heading south to Babardwa as well, so that will give us the oomph there. So it's just getting these assets out and about, really. So 1512 plus 588 does bring us to 2100, so that is enough. Gives me a decent complement there as well. Low troops only, but enough supply there to keep things going. So it seems I'm going to... See, they should be able to load up that. Right, that's what we're going to assemble over here. I do have a force heading out there to take that base first. I'm going to throw the Kitagami in there, just give us something to work with. I'm not going to have a huge amount of actual surface assets down that way, so it would be handy in this sort of area if there is something that does come out. Doubtful, but it is worthwhile to have something in there nonetheless. Right, okay. Okay, run naval attack. And run naval attack, so we're good there. Okay. I think we're more or less done. I don't think there's a huge amount else real to take into consideration. Okay. Let's see. Couple load in there. Right, there's plenty moving in there. What I'm going to do then is I did have the... So I'm going to use the 12 knotters actually here. I'm not too concerned about speed. So they can head to Nagasaki, then they can actually act as the Shanghai convoy. What I'm going to do is actually take the, let's see, Tohos. It's 14 knots, just, I'm not too niffed about actual speed. I just want to say the actual ships are decent for actual conversions, to be honest. Not that base? Okay. Right, so the base at Fukuoka. Okay. Go pick up there. Right, doesn't let me do that as of yet, so they've got to head over to Port Arthur first. Monkeys are in there as well. Right, that should be pretty sufficient there. So get it underway. Again, I had these ships really congregate around actual repair shipyards, so they're not in their final destinations, not yet. I was trying to make use of them as we go and then reorder them. Just really have them converted as soon as possible was the idea. I do need to properly sort out these convoys and work out what we need and how much we need. Okay. That's not ideal. Let's see. Some running goes on there. I will do this in the next episode, actually. It's getting a little bit long here at this moment in time. Bit of a crazy time at the moment, so going to try and plot things out as we go. I need to try and solve what I'm bloody going to do in terms of work. Ugh, fun. But it's looking good so far. We've got this more or less sorted. I'm not going to end the turn tonight, per se. Might mess around a little bit more. But there's really not that much to do. Just want to make sure we've got everything, but yeah, we're pretty much at the end. Not a huge deal. Not a huge deal to do. Quite happy about that, really. Quite happy. So what I'm going to say then is thank you for watching there, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you've enjoyed this. It's a bloody shame to only have a few of you, but I guess people are busy at the moment right now. It is a bit of an interesting time, isn't it? But I hope that those of you who have been here have really enjoyed it. It's been good. We're not going to be too far from actually sending a turn off. I'll probably get it sent off tonight. And then we should ideally get a turn back pretty quick. It's not like I'm not going to have the time for it. Oh, God, it's depressing. It is awesome. In a terrible, terrible way. But I hope you guys are genuinely... Just take care of yourselves, you know? It's going to be a weird time ahead. I hate the thought of being like all paranoid and like overreacting, but it's one of those, isn't it? So essentially you realise you really don't have that much power. You just get told to do something and yeah, you kind of have to do it. So, we have to try and be our own support network, don't we? Especially as nerds. Till next time, guys. Look after yourselves. Goodbye for now.